Today I want to talk about 10 books by authors of color that are being released in 2024. These are in order of release date, although we never know if they're going to stick to the schedule. First is The Weaver's Alamaxa. This is the sequel to The Daughters of Istahar by Hadeer Elsbai, and it's currently scheduled to be released in March. I'm a huge fan of this feminist Egyptian tale of magic and everything else. I can't wait for you to read it. Next is To Gaze Upon the Wicked Gods by Molly Chang. This is one of the few books on this list that is the first in a series, and it's scheduled to come out in April. You may have seen the cover, which is really what got me excited about this, and I don't really know what it's about, but I'm excited because it looks amazing. Then there's Children of Anguish and Anarchy. This is the final book in the trilogy by Toni Adyemi that started many, many years ago with Children of Blood and Bone. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to reread the second book in advance of the release sometime in June. Then next is Mirrored Heavens by Rebekah Roanhorse. This is the final book in her trilogy that started with Black Sun, and if you haven't read that, now is the good time to pick up the first two books in advance of the release in June. Then Celestial Monsters is the sequel to The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. This is one of the gayest books I've ever read in a good way, and this book is scheduled to come out in September. We just saw a cover release, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check out the cover, and it's amazing. Next is The Doors of Midnight. I don't know if this is actually going to be the final title, but this is what I could find online for the sequel to the first binding by R.R. Virdi. I'm a huge fan, and if you haven't seen my video yet, go check out my long video I did on the first binding and why it's one of my favorite books. This is supposed to come out in August, but it's been delayed a few times, so we don't know if it'll be there, but whenever it is out, I'm excited. I've already read this book twice. The second time I did on audio, and it was amazing the second time as well. Next is The Lotus Empire, which we just got the title name was released along with a preview of the cover art, which is scheduled to come out in November. This is Tasha Suri's final book in her Burning Kingdoms trilogy, which is South Asian sapphic fantasy, really fun, slow burn fantasy, and I'm a huge fan. I've been waiting for this for a while now, and I can't wait to reread the first two books in advance of the release. Next is The Ashfire King by Chelsea Abdullah. This is the sequel to The Stardust Thief, and again, this may not be released as the date we have now, but it looks to be in November, and so hopefully we'll see it in 2024 so we can complete this duology. This is very similar to other Middle Eastern Jinn fantasy, so if you like Jinn, this is a good one to check out. Next is War Widow by Deborah Falaye. This is the sequel to Blood Scion, and if you haven't read Blood Scion, it is an incredibly engaging action fantasy, very violent. I barely on the YA side, but even though it gets classified as YA, this sequel is scheduled to come out in November. And finally, we have Heavenly Tyrant, and this is by Xiran Zhao, which again is expected to come out in April from what I can find online, but I would not believe that release date, so I'm saying this is unknown. But if you haven't read Iron Widow, this is a book to look for and check out, and eventually get excited for the next book. I'm told that she says this has resonated well with readers with ADHD because she also has ADHD. So that may be a good book for you if you have ADHD. So if you think I left out a book, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos by me, let me know in the comments. And please like and subscribe and follow me other places. And I hope to see you soon.